Hello everyone, my name's Jamie Carroll and I'm an astrologer, hypnotherapist and energy worker. This short blog talk is entitled Understanding Negative Energy, and I'm going to take a quick gallop through some of the key ideas. We all experience negative emotions. We laugh or cry, we get angry, we get depressed, we get elated. Negative energy is really another way of talking about negative emotions. But it's not a metaphor. It's not an impression or an impression of a place or someone else's negative behavior. Negative energy is a real phenomenon. In fact, negative energy is a form of electromagnetic energy. Scientists have actually known about human electromagnetic energy since 1924 when Hans Berger discovered brainwaves. That's almost 100 years ago now. But the knowledge hasn't yet translated into a paradigm shift in how we understand ourselves and conduct ourselves. Electromagnetic energy interacts with our environment. Most of us still have this notion that our thoughts and our emotions are just things that rattle around in our heads. But no, we emit this energy. I first encountered the idea that we emit electromagnetic energy back in 2003. I was hooked up to an EEG machine. It was pretty much unheard of in those days to be looking at your own EEG reading, playing out before your eyes, unless you were connected to a research project or maybe in hospital with a brain injury. I was in neither of these situations. But I was very curious and I'd shelled out an inordinate amount of money, for those days anyway, for the privilege of getting to use an EEG machine to understand how my mind was working. Well, that's another story. But anyway, my point is that the EEG experience was really pivotal in helping me understand how thoughts work. See, when I saw the two EEG lines dancing up and down on a screen, I really understood that my thoughts have their own unique identity, that they are leaving my skull and they are entering my environment. Photons are firing out of our brains all the time. It's light we can't see and sound we can't hear. It's non-physical, but nonetheless it is real. But of course, my example is just talking about the brain, whereas in fact my broader point is that energy is being emitted from the whole body. As Jack Schwartz said, we are human energy systems. Or as a great mentor taught me many moons ago, we are all wavelengths. Anger, hatred, jealousy, rage, despair, defeatism. These emotions radiate out from the brain and the body. We can't contain them. So where does this energy go? Wherever we send it. Wherever we send it. If we send out thoughts of love and admiration and gratitude to our friends, it enters their energy fields. If we get angry with our boss or our partner or our kids, we are sending that negative emotional energy into their energy fields. If people are thinking badly about us, they are sending us their negative emotional energy. And why is this important? It's just thoughts, right? It's just emotions. It's not real. Wrong. Anger, hatred, jealousy, and fear are negative emotional energies. These energies are electromagnetic energy, as I've said. And that energy accumulates within our human energy systems. Unless we're talking about very highly conscious individuals, very spiritually aware, the chances are that the energy gets lodged. And the negative energy blocks naturally positive energy from moving around our system. If over time more and more negative energy accumulates in our energy fields, it drains us of our energy. It makes us depressed. As it starts to interfere with the circulation of positive energy, it can start having effects within our physical body and make us ill. Oh, and by the way, negative energy doesn't just accumulate in our human energy systems, it builds up in our homes and our work environments too. We'll return to that thought on another occasion. I alluded just a bit earlier to us needing to be able to make a paradigm shift. Well, this is what I'm talking about. We have to get over this artificial distinction we have in our minds with the physical and non-physical. Because understandably we favour the physical, the world we can see, our skin and bones, over the non-physical. But we need to be treating negative emotional energy with the same respect we've learned to give X-rays and microwaves. It is a frequency. When it comes into contact with other frequencies, like in my human energy system, and if it is powerful enough, it will start altering my frequencies. And the reverse if I send out energy to your human energy system. If my frequencies are powerful enough, they're going to change your frequencies. You might ask, does it make a difference if I'm nowhere near the person I'm angry at? Or nowhere near a person who is thinking spiteful thoughts about me? The short answer is no. It doesn't make any difference. Paramahansa Yogananda described light as the structural essential of our universe. And light travels at 186,300 miles per hour. In other words, my enemy's attack thoughts hit my energy fields instantaneously. My thoughts of rage and anger, even if never outwardly expressed, hit my enemy's fields instantaneously. We could be on either side of the globe. It doesn't matter. In fact, we can go even further. An idea from quantum physics that's become increasingly widely known is quantum entanglement. The idea that all things that have been physically linked remain connected on an energetic level, even if vast distances separate them. And it's funny how we all get this idea that we are applying it to objects, quote, out there, like to electrons. It all seems very abstract and logical, but we seem strangely resistant to the idea that the same principle might just apply to energy within our own force fields. But the scientific ideas are there now. We just need to follow through and move from applying them to, quote, out there, to also start applying the same rules to ourselves. 2,000 years ago, and Jesus was already all over this concept. And that's why he introduced the idea that thinking of a bad thought was just as harmful and wrong as committing a bad deed. He saw how negative energy, even unintentionally, becomes a weapon. Knowing what we know now, think for a minute about what it must be like if you're a movie star or a politician or a sports star. When you are the flavour of the month, you must be receiving these waves of positive energy. That's why celebrities talk about the adulation as being like a drug. But when they do something the public disapproves of, then imagine the negative energy that they are receiving. Waves and waves of it. I always think that all these people on Twitter who start trolling celebrities and sports stars probably don't have the first idea of how much negative emotional energy they are hurling at the object of their hatred. I always just hope that celebrity in question has the psychic ability to repel attacks, or at least has the mental resources to cope. There's another obvious implication of these ideas about energy. If we are the type who is hugely self-critical, we are polluting our own energy body, our own aura. Hence the saying in Proverbs, as someone thinks within themselves, so they are. So we're skirting close to the law of attraction here, but that can wait for another day. But basically, the takeaway point is self-generated negative energy can do as much damage to our energy body and our physical body as it can to others if we are directing our negativity at ourselves. Okay, so that's what I wanted to cover in this mini blog. The obvious next questions are, how do we protect ourselves from negative energy? And how do we cleanse our own energy systems from accumulated negative energy? So in the next mini blog, I'll be covering how we can protect ourselves from negative energy and how we can release old negative energy that is stuck and not let it build up in our system. So look out for those episodes shortly.